with the
Here we
minimal
are.
fuss. Kate, you know Natalie, don't you?
Yeah,
Of course
yeah,
you.
yeah.
So wonderful to see you.
Yeah, you too.
I'll tell you what, it's like a party online. That's a big happy party. So anyway, we are live. So everybody, world, Facebook world, YouTube world, universe, planet, people, animals, nature, hello, morning. I'm really excited because we've got some beauties here today, absolute beauties, and I wanted to introduce you to a new beauty that is in our realms, in our midst, and it's Natalie Raya. So I'm so excited that she's here with us, and that's the first, hopefully, of many times that you'll be joining us over the few coming months to come. But Natalie, I'll let you introduce yourself, because you can't. I'm going to put everything, all the links in the descriptions and everything, so you'll be able to get a general overview, brain work, a general overview of what everybody does. Like I always do with my therapy talks, because I'm very grateful. We're a team here. We're totally a team. But Natalie, just for a bit of background, I did my master prac course and my prac course, and Natalie was one of the trainers. Were you a trainer?
Assistant training, yeah.
Assistant training, yeah, during both those courses. So and with Kate as well. So Kate was doing it with me too. So we've spent a lot of time, and Natalie's seen me at my lowest, my rock bottom, and she's seen me at my highest. And, you know, so has Kate, actually. Kate's driven me through a few of those times as well. There's been a few. So yeah, Natalie, we have her, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute honour to be with you all. And it's great to be part of a group that's passionate about sharing positive messages and self-development, because as you know, I'm a big ambassador for that. So it's just pure joy. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's amazing. And you're doing your own self-development. You've just gone live with something, haven't you, Natalie?
I have, yeah. So I've just started the business Life Ladder, which you can visit lifeladder.com. And really, it's all about helping everybody everywhere to enjoy more happiness and success. So it's a personal development platform where everybody can take their own steps in a very small, bite-sized way, 7 transformational steps a week on your own platform with your own dashboard, a journey just for you. So I'm really excited to share it. So thank you very much for allowing me to express that.
This is what we're here for. Honestly, we're all here for each other and for everybody, you know, that wants to join with us and just get on that positive vibe. So I'm flipping loving it. Absolutely grateful. So today, we're talking about patience. Now, these times that we've been going through, they've tested a lot of patience for not only just me, but in a lot of different people in a lot of different areas. And it's really brought home that it is an actual art, the art of patience. It is an art because it allows you, if you can take that time to bring inner peace into your life and create the way forward for just that calm, the patience of listening, truly listening and hearing, taking on board what is going on, whether it be another human being or whether it's down to health and healing as well, because I've been on my own healing journey, which made me have to have a lot of patience. And it's been a long time coming as well. So it's patience with the healing of the planet, patience with the healing of each other, patience with the healing of the virus and what's going on, patience with challenges that that's sent to us every day, whether it's regards to our children and, you know, being more in a close proximity with people that you wouldn't normally spend a lot of time with. So it's, you know, allowing and patience on many different levels. And patience, most important, with yourself, because, oh my gosh, the thing is, we can be as mindful as we want to try and be patient and get into those zones, but are we actually kind and patient to ourselves? And that's the challenge, really, because it starts right here. It starts with us, right? It starts inside. So giving your time to yourself that's the whole start, in my opinion, of patience. And I've needed it. But we're making it through. It's all right. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel's like this, but I can see a glistening light right there. So yeah, today I'm going to throw out patience. And what does patience, what are your tools? What makes patience more easy to come by? How do you get that beautiful gift that we've all got when we choose it? So shall we just throw out, who wants to go first? Lee, you're next to me. You're next.
So yeah, when you mentioned patience, it was actually quite funny because it's the one thing for me that is, it's taken a long time to kind of get myself to learn and understand patience. And it's not necessarily the great, I wasn't sort of just born one of those very calm, patient people, but yet I see the value of patience, especially now, having a young son at school. And well, no, besides that, the way technology is and the way society has changed and developed, the idea of patience is what people used to have to endure. To get milk, you had to kind of go out and milk a cow. To make a cake, you got all bits and pieces together and you created this, this cake. But now it's not really like that anymore. You just go and buy a box and add a few things and you've got a cake or whatever. So everything's instant. And with technology, slowly over the years, things become more and more so like that. A child wants something to play on their PlayStation or whatever the case is, they download it within 5 seconds, they've got it. You just get an app, you just pay for this, you just do that, you just order it on Amazon, quick. And so I think there's less and less patience in people generally. So the fears and frustrations that I've seen through people with this COVID now is, it is a patience, it is a waiting game. It is a time where we've all had to exercise, different constraints, different forms of patience, different forms of understanding. And, you can see with other political stuff coming up now, that the anxiety, the frustrations, the whatever else, when people don't have patience, being able to push it out somewhere else. And the anger and, the things that are coming within people because of that lack of patience. They want it over, they want to move on, and we all do. But that's why our group is so divine, because now we can sit and we can talk about ways of how are you learning to wait for various things. Even with my practice, with my business, having to close down in town. And for me, it's a big patience game, because I haven't had a lot of clients online. People haven't, I don't know if it's, I don't know what, but anyway, it's a waiting. It's where are we going from here? What are we doing? Let's be grateful for what we do have. But for me, patience has definitely been a thing of finding the gratitude with where I am and with what I do have. And it's not always easy, but when I can be grateful for just the fact that I've got a home to live in and that I got all my stuff back. It's a long story, Natalie, but anyway, I've got patience. It's going to happen in time and it's going to be okay. It always does. But it's not necessarily an easy thing to acquire. And I think it certainly is one of those sort of lifetime challenges that, over the years, you learn just a little bit more. And when you look back, that hindsight thing of the times when you have been patient, or when you have learned some patience, or you've grown in patience, that then again, you can add more gratitude to yourself. And with the more gratitude, you can have more patience. So it's kind of like an ongoing thing.
Yeah. Lovely. Thanks, Lee. Yeah, self-love. Give yourself some self-love. Well, you'll need a bit of that.
Patience and love, so yeah.
Right, so I'm going to go to Aaron. We're going like this today, like a dance.
Right. I like what Lee had to say. I just want to add to what she said about a society, that the society is nowadays geared to fast food, fast cars, fast computers, fast results. So I want it today. That's the mentality we're getting from the outside world. And that's instant gratification. That's all it is. And we're kind of wired to look for that. So patience, yes, it's definitely something worth pondering on, that what really requires to have more patience. And I have this 3 P's, kind of like an ingredient thing, passion, perseverance, and patience, for a balanced life, for success, for happiness. And so patience is a big part of it. And I think it requires knowledge, that people understand how the brain works in simplistic terms, that in order to change, you do need repetition to install a brand new habit. So that's going to require a few months, not weeks or not days, to really replace unwanted behaviors. So that's kind of knowledge. And I think it's also important to keep a curious mind. Yeah. So as you're going with the process and things are not happening that fast, you become curious what you're learning in the process, because you need to decide whether you're going for a sprint or a marathon. If you're going for a sprint, well, you're going to have instant results and it's going to fade away. You're going to look for something else. It's not going to feed you and nurture you. But if you're going for the marathon, what it does is, it's who you become at the end of the journey. Not really the result, is it? So say you set yourself a goal you want to achieve in a month, because people are advertising, you can do the splits. I saw this advert, by the way. You can do the full splits in 1 month, sign up. But is it really the result you're looking for? Or is it who you become as you're striving, as you're putting in that work, as you reflect on your achievements, on your small victories? And that's patience, knowing that there's something to learn in there. Every time I hit failure, it's still not happening, but there's something significant I'm learning and I can share with people. And yep, that should wrap it up for me now.
Yeah, no, I love that. Absolutely. Actually, something that triggered as well. It's when you're losing patience, the triggers, to notice them. But maybe we'll talk about that in a minute. I've just noted that down because that's quite a handy thing to talk about when we notice that we're losing patience, and there's what triggers it, what makes us, what do we feel, where do we feel it, and what can we do about that. So maybe we'll look at that in a minute. So Natalie, all yours.
Fantastic, thank you. I love that the curiosity word is coming up. What a gift curiosity is. Wow. Yeah, I think for me, patience kind of brings up other subjects like surrender or flow versus resistance. You know, impatience is like a resistance. And, you know, if we think about water, how easily it flows and picks up speed and momentum is because it just navigates around the rocks. It doesn't get stuck with the friction, and it may be soft and surrendered, but actually over time, those rocks can erode with the power of the water. So actually being a bit more soft, a bit more relaxed in the moment, and allowing a certain depth of trust that all is well and you're in a flow, then you start to pick up that speed and momentum towards what you want. But the more you insist on having it now, the more you feel a gap between where you are now and the thing that you're actually pursuing in your life. So for me, I really get this feeling of surrender. And it's a bit like, I've been swimming in the sea recently. And when you swim in the sea, it's incredible because it really humbles you, and it teaches you that if you've got the patience, then you can allow the tide to carry you back to the shore. You haven't got to swim against the current. You haven't got to get yourself uptight. You know, you can work with the flow of the water to carry you easily back to where you want to be. So I think it just, for me, is about, right, the harder I get about the things I want, the less likely I am to get them. So am I willing, do I want it enough that I'm willing to surrender? And the moment that you surrender, you can start to receive. And that really happened for me because I had a car crash last year and I was forced into surrender. I was literally, couldn't move for 9 weeks. Couldn't move, had to really surrender to, you know, the fact I could do absolutely nothing, and forced to be really present with the challenges of that time. And I can honestly say that those challenges were an absolute pure blessing. Coming back to what you're saying about learning, you know, there are blessings, there are learnings in challenges if we choose to look for it. And it is all about what we choose to look for. Do we choose to look for what we haven't yet got? Or do we choose to look for, as you were saying, Lee, about gratitude, what we already have? So I think surrender, the power of choice, choosing what we focus on, because what we focus on will grow. You know, so it's what do we want to put our light? Where do we want to shine our light so that we can grow? So for me, that's what was coming up about patience. And it's a very important subject. And the word probably means lots of different things to different people. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's interesting. So
thank you.
That's my share. Surrender.
I love it. Yeah, Natalie, that's beautiful. That was beautifully put. My gosh, swimming in the English Sea as well. Brave lady.
I'm looking at snow on the mountains outside here, so the thought of swimming in the sea at the minute is like, wow, no way.
Wow. It was cold at first, you know. I was just saying, okay, come on, Natalie, you know, and when you're in, it is amazing. It really is incredible, and it becomes really warm, and you feel the light sparkling on the ocean around you, and it's the most incredible experience. And then you just get used to it. It's only that first bit. So again, it's like, are you willing? That's the question. You get a decision, a choice. Are you willing? Do you want what you want enough to be willing to change your habits, to surrender? You know, so
and it's in moments of discomfort that we become more comfortable and where we grow. And like they say that if you take a freezing cold shower at the beginning of the day, or a freezing cold shower, just something to change your mood, something to shock you into like, whoa, and then, you know, really can reset your system. You know, it can really just kind of go. So that's a cold shower and a half, that is. Oh, thanks, Nat. So we're going to Beauty Kate, my darling, darling girl. Hello, love.
Hello. Yeah, so I think the thing that I would add to what everyone else has said already, because absolutely, everything you've all said is stuff that I would have shared as well. I think I would add to that is usually in frustration and that comes from not being patient. For me, there's always a should in there somewhere. There's always they should open up another cashier's desk so I don't have to wait so long in line, or that person shouldn't have just cut me up and now I'm now further back in the queue, or I should take this, I should be able to learn this more quickly. There's a lot of shoulds for me as well, and or I'm learning something new, so I've downloaded some new software and it's hard, it's difficult to do at first, so I'm getting impatient, or they should have made it easier to use or something, you know. So there's all these shoulds going on. So I often find, for me, it's helpful to find what is the should. That's what I'm thinking, because as soon as I get to look at my thoughts rather than be carried away by them, when I'm standing back and getting that perspective and saying, well, what am I saying to myself now? Then that helps me to get a different perspective on the situation. But it's also very hard in the moment, isn't it? Because we're just taken away, the monkey mind just takes over, and we just get taken away by it, and it's really hard not to just snap at that point, isn't it? So for me, I think it's learning a technique that calms you down in that moment, just when you start getting taken away, before that emotion carries you away and you start reacting, or you get angry, or whatever it is that might happen. So for me, it's about calming myself in that moment, just learning that, and then looking at the should. I think I probably have to do that after, but first I have to do the calm thing, get calmer, center myself, and we can talk about ways of doing that later maybe. But
yeah, I'd love that.
It's about getting that getting to calm, and then saying, well, what's the should? So then I'm doing the learning. Then I'm saying, well, so for next time, how can I do this better? And what is there anything I can do right now that is gonna change this situation? If not, then comes the acceptance. Then comes the, as Lee was saying, being grateful for what you have. Okay, I'm stuck in this queue, but maybe this is a chance to practice my body centering technique. You know, so the next time I'll be even more centered. Or, you know, I can do a bit of breathing, you know, different breathing technique or something. You know, you can do something. So it's, or I can use this to reflect on this question that I have for myself that I'm trying to work out, you know. So it's always a case, well, how can I benefit from this? How can I be either just grateful for it? So for example, you see in France, especially where I live, it's a very different attitude to the UK in terms of service, customer service, very different. And so everyone's kind of equal. And so you go to if you're waiting in a queue, the person at who's at the till is ringing up all the shopping that you're doing, isn't there really to serve. They're just doing a job, and your job is to be the customer, their job is to be that. So they're not there to help you be any quicker through the till. So someone comes along, they know, they'll come over, in the old days they would have given each other a kiss, and then they would have they'll chat for a couple of minutes, and you're there just waiting, and you can get very frustrated if you want, but what's the point? So instead, why not just say, okay, what a wonderful thing that they're just so relaxed in their job that they can do this, and that they're also able to greet that friend, and they've got this friend, and they have this special connection that allows them to be that just with a colleague. You know, it's just wonderful that everyone is so friendly and supportive of each other. So you can try and sort of put yourself into that mode and say how wonderful to be in that, and try and just pick up on that energy and take some of it for yourself. Why not?
That's perfect.
And so I remember one guy, she wasn't there, but a friend told me about it. A guy came over from the UK, had a second home in France, and came over from the UK. You know what it's like in the UK, you're driving around and it's just crazy, and people hooting their horns at each other and sort of trying to get in front of each other and cutting in, all that sort of thing. And you come to the Gers where I live in Gascony, where it's just, you've got a tractor in front of you, they're not going to pull over, you just might as well, might as well go and park for half an hour and read a book or something, because they're not going to stop, and they're going to go as long as they like, you know. So or they might just stop and shake hands with someone and start chatting to somebody and blocking the whole road, and that's what they do. And this guy turned up, and I think he was a solicitor in London, and he was coming to his second home, and this person stopped and did this, and the first thing he just said was, "Not in my time!" Like this, just shouted, and it made everyone in the car jump. And this was just like the state he was in, that you do not take my time, how dare you, this is, you know. And he was just blowing up, and well, that's not going to change anything, not going to make the situation any better. And so I would have said, if I was working with this guy, I'd be saying, well, we need to learn some centering techniques. How to get yourself back to center first, so you're not unbalanced. And then how can you practice that more, and how can you now look, what's the should there that you could change in future in your mind, reframe that maybe, so that you're just a lot more relaxed and take on some of that wonderful relaxed vibe that these people were having. You know, why not? You can't do anything about it.
No. Go with the flow, like what you said. Go with the flow. But it's
fascinating.
Go on.
You know what I found very fascinating about all of our talks that land up, while you were talking there, Kate, I was thinking, you're in the queue behind somebody. Once again, we come back to choice.
Yeah.
And I find it fascinating that almost every topic will be spoken about its own personal choice. So it's getting into your power and making the choice. Do I get myself in a panic about the person above me, in front of me, or do I just be in the now state? Do I just smile at somebody and be nice? You know, it's everything. It's so fascinating. I'm so sorry I missed the choice one.
No, I love that. It's like feel the energy and just go with the flow as well. And it's
But it is the key is you've got to be able to get to that calm place first, because to have that choice, you can't be being carried away by the monkey mind, because it's too late.
Yeah.
And I think creating an awareness of choice. You know, the more and more we talk, the more we create this awareness of choice. And if we can just like keep this little thing in our back pocket, that when we are in, because we're all going to have situations like that, as will everybody out there, you know, but if we can keep that little thing of, you know, how do I want to, you know, but I love your should thing too, but I love that it is.
Brilliant.
How am I going to relate to this? How am I going to handle this situation? And if you're not aware that you need to calm down to that place where you can make a choice, then you're definitely not going to do it.
I think as well, before you can be ready to make a choice, because I hear what you're saying, you need to be ready, you know, when you've got the voice in your head, that's very difficult to do. And I think it's kind of reminding me that it's very important to acknowledge what's there in that present moment. So we can say good things to ourselves and almost put like a positive plaster over it, but that is very different to shifting the energy. So when you just acknowledge and go, hold on, I feel like this. And then you get curious with it. What is that? You know, how come I feel like this? What, you know, and then you, from that place of acknowledgement and expression of what you feel, you can then make a new choice. If you throw a pen behind your back, just because you've got your back to it doesn't mean it's not there. Yeah. So I think it's really important to acknowledge those feelings, whatever they are, and then make that choice.
Yeah. Patience actually makes you healthier as well, because anger and stress are the two things that can ruin a person's health. So patience is the antidote to both of those things, because you can overcome any challenging situations with flexibility in a better way as well. So just some notes that I've written down. Being stress-free and happy helps you to stay healthier. Doesn't it just though? So choose health.
Yeah, it is about, as Natalie was saying, you know, noticing, just recognizing what's there and not judging it, not saying it's wrong, not making it wrong, because otherwise you're making yourself wrong, aren't you? So it's self-compassion and saying, okay, this is a part of me that I don't particularly feel comfortable with, but it's there, it's part of me. And so the only way to change it is to accept it and give it a bit of love and say, okay, I understand this situation is triggering me. And what am I noticing? And that's when it really helps to drop into the body and say, okay, what am I feeling? What's happening? Because sometimes the mind is just gone. So, but to get into the body, that's always there. And you can always say, okay, well, what's happening here? You know, is my heart racing? Am I clenching my fists? You know, what's happening? And how might I let go of that? Yeah. But just noticing and accepting it is often enough. It's just enough for the monkey mind just to calm down enough for you then to start going into, well, what choices do I have now? Yeah.
It's like throughout my life, I was talking earlier about my health, and that's been a patience game and the trust of it. But it's also in career as well, different people's careers. It's the belief, because if you believe in something truly, totally, wholeheartedly, then patience, it's not even a thing, because whatever roller coasters that this belief goes on, sorry, that's not the right wording, whatever roller coasters that the project is on, your belief of what it does and what it can do and what's possible for it is strong. So your patience is dependent, because it is on your belief. It doesn't matter what's happening in the background. All that matters is you can visualize this project or this thing or this career goal or this vision of you or whatever it may be, or this outcome. You can visualize it and you believe in it that much that time is not an issue. Time is just a byproduct of what it's going to take to get there. But it doesn't matter, because patience, that's what you're giving it. You're giving it the patience because it's worth that. It's worth your time, and you know, that's really not very well articulated, but you know what I mean.
I totally know what you mean, and I think it's great, because that message of being softer about the patience is really important. I remember before I was doing, trying to pursue what I wanted. And now I've got the business that I've always wanted, really. It's like my dream come true. And the ironic thing is about it that it came when I wasn't even trying. It just came to me with absolute ease and flow because my intentions had been set, and then I just let go. I let go and followed that path just naturally without any constricting of my thoughts around it. And then the opportunity just unfolded. And it's like, yeah, it's just trusting. It's like a certain expectation. I've set the intention. I'm a creator. And now I can just expect that the path, the stepping stones are going to reveal themselves step by step.
It's manifesting. It's actually basically manifesting, and coming to it from a place of love, and throwing love and light on that final outcome, and then just letting it go, because you don't need it in your life. You don't need it. Sorry, that's the wrong thing as well. My brain isn't working today. Well, it's challenging me. So you'd like it. You'd like to have this, and you can see this happening, and you can trust that you will get there. You don't know how you're going to get there, but that final outcome, there's no point in throwing any negativity at it. There's no point in worrying about will it happen, won't it happen, because that's just putting obstacles in the way that don't need to be there. It's that inner knowing, that inner trust that time will reveal in its own good time what is there for us, and it will be. It just will be. So I'm a very big believer in that. And there's been a few things in my life that I've just had projects that, going back years and years, that I've heard about something and I've believed in the idea. I mean, and I just had a feeling, and I've gone, right, okay, I'm going to go with that feeling, and whatever happened along the way. And you're probably going, what talking about? So I'm going to go talk about. There's been a few things, but like crypto, I'm going to go back 10 years ago now. This is like something else, it's one of my hobbies that I just dabble in here and there. But 10 years ago, I heard about it, and I was like, I really liked what it stood for. I really, really just liked its decentralization. You're in control of your own worth. You're in control. You haven't got a third person in the middle, and independence. And I loved the whole thing that crypto stood for, Bitcoin stood for. So I kind of like got in really early and just waited. Because the thing is, while I saw it go up to £1,000 and then down to £300 and then go up to £20,000 and down to £3,000. But for me, that wasn't important, because my value of it, my trust and my belief in what it is as a whole, as a system, it's strong. So it doesn't matter what journey it's been on to get to where it will be. It matters what I believe about it. And until that point, my belief is gone, then patience is just part of the journey. It's part of the plan. So yeah, that's just one of them. And the light lead, the other thing, the light lead, I had a project and I knew when it was time to stop it, but everything, and that took 10 years, just 10 years of passion and belief and achievement and the little steps along the way. But to me, time wasn't the problem. It was the quality, and it was the decisions and the choices that were made at the end and during, the journey. So patience just came hand in hand with that, because it came hand in hand with the belief. So yeah, there's just a couple of things from my point of view.
Well, I'm getting from that, like, it's trust, isn't it? It's belief in yourself, trusting that you will cope with any challenge that comes up, and trusting in this vision you have for whatever it is you want, whether it's I just want to get my shopping and get out of here, or you just trust it will happen. And it may not take the same amount of time that you've planned it will take.
Yeah.
But if it's a worthy goal, it's still worth taking all those little steps, isn't it? And as Natalie was saying, it is little steps. And also it's following, you talk about flow and I talk about following the feeling of fulfillment. It's not, I don't believe like we will have this one purpose in life. I believe if you follow this feeling of fulfillment every day and you have something in mind that you want to achieve, and you just then follow that feeling. And once you're following that feeling, it's guiding you, it's taking you past those obstacles, and you're flowing all the time. If you're in that feeling of flow, that feeling of fulfillment, for me, is like it's a forward movement. It's like my heart is open and I'm going forwards. It's that sort of feeling for me. And as long as I stick with that feeling when I've got a decision to make, you know, I'll always make the right choice for whatever it is I need to be doing. And so
yeah,
it doesn't have to be a thinking thing. I think as Natty was saying, it's just it's a belief and a following and a flowing and allowing more, isn't it?
mm.
And
Sometimes
then the
also-
patience comes with that, because you are patient because you're always in this feeling of flow, so you don't get so frustrated and annoyed, and you know, that's the closed in, isn't it? That's when you start getting tense and closing in, because you need to open.
It's loving it, isn't it? Loving the journey, loving every single part of it.
It's the opposite, isn't it? It's love versus sort of stress and anger and all these other emotions that aren't love. Anything that's not love is going to hold you back, is going to make you tense, is going to make you suffer more.
And back to curiosity, isn't it? It's back to curiosity.
It's opening, isn't it? You're opening, you're allowing. Yeah, curiosity is, oh, what's this? Opening up to surrendering. Yeah.
Oh, I love this.
Sometimes I find when you've got a client who wants something so badly, like they set their goal and I want it. It's like, you know, giving a vision or giving your desire of your feeling or your emotion out to the universe. When you're saying, come on, can I have it? Can I have it? When's it coming? When's it coming? I want it. And you focus and you focus and you focus. You're putting so much intense stress and I know they say focus on what you want, but when you're focusing on it like that, you're focusing on tension and stress and gimme and now. But I love your analogy of the water, because for me, I mean, we've had all these plumbing issues recently, and it's fascinating. The water goes where it want to go, you know. So if you can leave it and let it, I mean, it does. It takes the path of least resistance, doesn't it? And if we say and we put out there, you know, that's again why affirmations, you've got to be so careful, you know, choose things that are meaningful to you, but what does it make you feel? Is it real? Is it true? You know, for me to sit here and say, I'm a multimillionaire, I'm going to England next month. Well, I'm lying and it's not going to happen. And if I say it and 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 say it, I'm just going to build myself up into an even greater state than if I have a goal to be beautifully abundant and to be able to bless and look after my family in wonderful ways. And I can, you know, it's just so much more calming.
Yeah.
So I think it's
but also it's to be open. So say, you know, what you just said there as well, I'm going to be a multimillionaire, I'm going to go to London, right? And it's not going to happen. But let's not say the not this month. Okay, not this month.
That's what I said. It's not going to happen next month.
Yeah, but you're putting out you'd like to go to London. So when it comes, it will come to you, and it may not come. Yeah, exactly. And it's different packages, isn't it? It's like your eyes are open to new opportunities and excited to say yes, because that yes is a powerful word. So I mean, you are coming to London, Mrs.
Yes, no, absolutely. Just sadly not next month, but then you see it's being realistic.
Yeah,
yes,
realistic.
I'll have the abundance, and I'll bring my son and my husband. We'll come. You know what I mean? It's coming, but not in my demanding stress. Give me state, because that goes back to tension. Kate was just talking about tension, and I think it's so true. We get so tense. It's made me think about it, was when we get into that begging state. And then it's almost like with hypnotherapy, if somebody wants something so badly that they don't even relax into the flow, that they're tense, trying to control the process that happens as you go through the script or through the meditation or whatever. They're so busy focusing on, I'm going to get it, you know what I mean? They're not just letting their mind and their brain go, because sometimes you get it in a different way. Sometimes it's not exactly what you were expecting. Maybe it's something even more. Sometimes but the more you try and hold on to that thing, as opposed to, again, the feeling. I love your feeling, Kate. You always come up with feelings and stuff. And
I love that too.
When you're looking for what I actually want to feel. So even on my vision board, I've got certain things, and next is, I feel so grateful because X, Y, and Z. I feel so healthy because I'm able to whatever. And then I've got a picture of the running or the whatever it is. So it's definitely, just letting go a bit. And I think that's where passion comes in, when you're willing to just let it.
Having fun and playing with the vision, playing with it and just letting it go, coming from a place of love rather than a place of fear and anxiety. So, because then it's fun. Like kids, when kids are growing up, you know, they don't have any expectations, no expectations. They just want, they can see themselves doing it and they just do it. They don't think, oh, what if this happens? Or what if I fall off of that? Or, you know, they just don't think like that. They're just like, oh, I'm going to go and get that. Bang, climb the 10-foot tree. Wonderful. And we're the ones that are going, oh my. Patience is a virtue. Possess it if you can. Oh, there's a rhyme in that. Yeah. So,
I was just going to add.
Nathan.
I think that's another reason why in NLP we speak a lot about making sure the client is ready for the work, because that's that choice part of, are they willing to surrender to the process? If they are, they will be able to create change. If they're not ready to make that choice and surrender, then they'll keep hitting that wall of resistance. So I think it's that checkpoint. If I want something, am I willing? I know I said it earlier, but I think it's really important. Am I willing to do what it takes and surrender to whatever it takes to get that change in my life? And if you're willing, then you can do the work and do the journey. I think that's really important, being willing to drop your normal habits and want something, desire something enough to surrender.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important. Definitely. I mean, Kate, I was wondering, maybe you could do like one of your where are you feeling it techniques. I thought that'd be great. Like, say, I'll set the scenario. So, impatience. You're losing patience. Let's say traffic, road rage. You're in a car. You haven't moved for 2 hours. You're on the motorway. You need the toilet. The kids are in the back, punching each other out, you know, out the car. Your phone's going off and you've got the sat nav on, but you know, you can't follow the sat nav when you're on the phone, and it might take you off the road. So you're sitting on that road and you're just like losing your patience, losing your rag, and you can't get out because you're on a motorway and you're not allowed to, and there's no hard shoulders, because funnily enough they've all disappeared now because it's a smart motorway, so you're stuck. So you're losing patience. What can we do in situations where we're there? Let's do a technique. I'm already there. I'm in that traffic jam. My God, get me out.
Yeah, I think, well, as we were saying before, I think the first thing to do is just to notice that you are, because you've got to get that awareness first, haven't you? So it's just noticing, well, what am I feeling now? What am I feeling? So if you, I don't know, imagine something that is frustrating to you, something that you're maybe not getting as quickly as you would like, and maybe even something with yourself, like something you're not achieving that you wish you had by now, or it should have happened by now. So anything that's got a should in your life now. So if you think about that, and when you think about that, where is that in your body? So forgetting the words now, is just, what does that feeling give you in your body? Where is that for you, that feeling? And where, you can do all then the submodalities with it, can't you? You can say, well, what if it were a colour? What would it be? What size is it? Is there a shape? Are there any movement there with it? You know, for me, I get there's a heaviness in my heart, my chest area around here. It's like a sinking feeling. It sinks down into my belly there. But it's a heavy feeling. It's quite dark. And so what you can do with that, then you can say, well, okay, what do I need to do now just to allow that to lighten slightly? So what could you do to lighten it? Could you take that dark colour out of it and just take that out and just see what happens with that? And what colour's underneath when you do that? And there's always a colour underneath. So you can keep playing with the colour and taking that out. So I'm going to blue now. The darkness is going, there's blue, and then there's kind of like a whiteness underneath that. So that's quite a nice calmer feeling now. It's much lighter now. It's almost like a cloud. So the cloud can come up now and be much lighter. And there's an opening feeling now. I'm feeling my shoulders opening. So and then you can breathe more easily. So it's then you can use your breath, because your breath is a wonderful thing to focus on, isn't it? Because that's why people use it for meditation, because it's all, you carry it with you wherever you go. So no matter what, you haven't necessarily got your scented candles and your bells at the side or whatever else, but you can always breathe. And just one key thing is just to breathe out slightly longer than you breathe in, just slightly. And that immediately just gives you a relaxed response. It's just, it has to, it tells your brain this is time to relax now. It's not time to panic or be stressed, because breathing out tells your brain, oh, we're relaxed now. So you can go into that. And then just, so it's noticing the feeling without making it wrong, but just saying, well, how can I make this lighter? How can I make it more open? How can I just open my chest so I can breathe, and do that just slightly, breathe slightly out longer than you're breathing in. And just do that for 2 or 3 breaths. And that's usually enough just to get calm enough to then think, right, what do I do? What can I do now that isn't going to make things worse? So, you know, shouting at the kids probably isn't going to help, but what can I do? How can we play a game with the kids? You know, do something, or put some music on they like, or do something, you know, just make it fun. Because obviously the more you can laugh about a situation, no matter how bad it is, usually that also can just de-stress and just bring a much more happier energy into the place. And there's a great technique I've been working, there's a guy called Mark Walsh who's based in Brighton, Natalie, so I'm sure you've heard of him. He does a lot of embodiment stuff, and I've been doing some of his trainings recently. There's loads on the internet that he does as well, so you can always get loads of stuff from him on YouTube. And he talks about there are like these 4 ways of being in your body. And so if you have a tendency to be sort of up in your head, then you're too much up movement. So what you need to do is ground yourself more. And so if you're too much up here, thinking, overthinking, stressed, angry that this is happening, whatever, then how can you get more lower down? How can you now just focus on your feet on the floor? Simple things. And just feel your legs, or feel your if you're sitting in the car, then you just feel yourself sitting in the seat. And maybe, because you're probably going a bit forward as well, because you want to move forward. So sit back a bit, you know, feel the back of the chair and your back against the chair, and just, then you're sort of going backwards and down. And that can be a very relaxing thing to do, just to do that. So noticing where your movement is. Are you too much up? Then you need to come down a bit. How can you ground yourself? Or if you're too forwards, I need to get there. You know, how can you just come back? And instead of trying to push, you know, how can you just sit back and receive something? You know, what do I need more of right now? I need more calm. Okay, how can I be calm? Oh yeah, it's the breathing thing. So it's just, it's awareness, accepting, not fighting it, because then all you're doing is putting more energy into the stuff that's making you feel bad. So how can you release and calm, and then the thinking can come in, can't it? Because then the brain's now thinking, oh, there's nothing to be stressed about. Now I can be creative. Now I can come up with great solutions. Natalie was saying before, you know, now I can come up with great ideas of what we can do now, because I'm coming at it from a point of calm, relaxed, and, you know, it's okay. It's not okay, but I'm okay with it anyway.
Yeah. Singing is brilliant for changing your mood and the vibration, because, you know, what's coming out is just like shifting everything. And not only are you singing, but you're listening to your favorite tracks that will just lift you anyway. So you're in this, you know, you're in a way of just lifting that vibration to get to where you need to be, to just switch out of that mode, you know, to get out of there. Singing is a great thing. Me and Natalie sing. We sing together, don't we?
Oh, amazing.
I have had the honour. It's amazing. Yeah, it's wonderful.
She's got a lovely voice. Natalie's got a lovely voice.
Oh, thank you. Very humbling to sing with you. I think that sound is super important. So Kate, obviously it's wonderful what you're talking about, the pictures, the visual representation, and there's different ways that we can all represent it. And it's interesting because I enjoy working with the colours, and I also enjoy working with the sound. The sound is really, really important. So when I hear the thoughts in my head, sometimes I'll say them out loud in a different tone of voice, and I'll get into my playful zone maybe I'll do it in the sound of a voice of an actor, or maybe I will do it like a squeaky mouse, or, you know, and I'll play around with the sound just because it's light and it's a bit silly and it's a bit crazy. And you know what? That immediately changes my feeling, my state of mind. And sometimes I just go, oh, hello, frustration. You've showed up again, have you? Hello, welcome. I see you, I feel you. And I have a little relationship going on with the feeling. You know, it's a bit like in NLP, a perceptual positions kind of principle, but within yourself, you know, there's frustration. How do I see, hear and feel frustration? And acknowledging that and seeing it from that point of view. So, yeah, I think when you speak out, oh, hello, you know, and you just give it air, if you like, it's like a release, an expression of freedom. And it can come out of the body and be released, like you can imagine it like a leaf being carried off in the breeze. It's all different things that you can do with pictures, sounds and feelings. So yeah, brilliant.
Definitely.
I want to add to what Natalie said.
Well, hi, Sandra. We're finishing in 10 minutes. It's so nice to have you anyway. So go on, Aaron. Sandra, everybody, this is Sandra. Sandra, this is everybody. So Aaron, go ahead. So what were you saying?
I just wanted to add to what Natalie said just real quick, because it connects to it. So the words that you use. So I call it transformational vocabulary. So consciously choosing your words. So instead of saying, oh, I'm so pissed, or this, I'm so doomed, you can change it. You can say, well, this is inconvenient. And the way you label these feelings with words has a great impact. So a huge difference, makes a difference in how you feel afterwards. And you know, people saying, oh, I'm really upset, or this is unbelievable. It's never gonna clear. This road is never gonna clear up. Instead, you can say this, well, this is a challenging situation, kids. Let's work out a solution. So just tweaking those words.
Oh, I like that. That's all. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah,
I am peeved instead of I am. Stop.
Yeah, exactly.
I
compromise.
Am peeved.
Yeah, always giving the power of choice and compromise. So, and let me just introduce everyone. This is Sandra Loxley. So, Kate, you know Sandra, don't you? And you, Natalie, know Sandra. So, yeah, Lee and Aaron. This is Sandra.
Hi,
Sandra was you were the assistant as well on my you were on my master prac.
I was assisting Terry on it.
That's right. Oh, you see, it's like a family. Sandra, because we're leaving in like 8 minutes, but what are your views on patience? Give us some views.
I think
patience.
What are my views on patience? I think that it's a great thing, patience. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you time to consider what's happening. Gives you also time to be aware of your state, how you're affected. Or not affected. I'm quite a positive person, a bit like you, Danielle. You know that.
We all are, actually. We all are on this place. I tell you.
Yeah. You don't always. It's like in that waiting for people to respond. It gives people time to give you feedback. It's a bit like listening, I guess, isn't it? In some way as well. I don't know how people addressed it.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's a shame because you came right at the end, otherwise you'd have been here. Next time, Sandra, next time, hopefully you'll get you earlier. Oh, darlings. So before we leave, is there anyone got anything that they else wanted to say? Anything further that wanted to add? It's been a blimmin' good talk, hasn't it?
Oh, shame I missed it, hey?
Honestly, Sandra, you'd have to rewatch it. You'd have to rewatch it. Yeah. Huh?
Have you recorded it?
Yes. Oh, yes. It's going to go out on all my channels so you can share it.
Excellent.
And I'll put the list of everything there as well. So, yeah. Did anyone have anything further to add? I'm just thinking if I've got anything around on here.
The only thing I would add is like it's about being more realistic, isn't it? Because if we let our minds take us away with all these thoughts and shoulds and whatever else there is, then that's all just stories, isn't it? We're just making it all up because it's not real. And the fact that the person sat next to you is probably feeling differently than you are suggests that how can it be real? Because we're not all feeling the same thing when we see a situation. We all see something different. We all have different perspectives. And so it's again, you know, what's real here? You know, you can ask yourself that, what's the truth here? And even that's made up, because we all make up our own reality, don't we? So but if you can get closer to it, if you can close that gap a bit, instead of telling yourself this story, because I think about disagreements I've had with people because I think they should have done this, and so I'm impatient with them, frustrated that this hasn't happened when I wanted it to be done this way or whatever. And so then I'll think, well, what did I want there, and what was real, and can you put yourself in the other person's shoes and say, well, what are they thinking, what are they feeling? Because to them it's totally acceptable whatever's going on. And so if somebody's delaying you or not doing something as quickly as you would like, then put yourself in their position and look back at yourself, and how do you see yourself now, and what are you doing? So that you can do that whole perceptual position thing, and then you can be, well, how would the fly on the wall see it? What are they seeing now? And the more you can try and look at it from different perspectives, the more you can get a handle on what might be closer to the truth about the situation, and what realistically can I do, if anything, to make it better. And if I can't, then it's, how do I let go of that?
It's quite interesting as well, because I'm just going back to the car thing, something I wanted to say about the car thing. And everyone else all around you, which are all in the same position, they're all experiencing the same things. It's like an energetic field. So we give out energy, we give out, you know, energetic waves. So the person in the next car, or 5 cars back, or 50 cars back, we're all feeling the same thing. So if we can try and spread out a little bit of love to those things, so that the energy connects and just maybe filters through all the cars without them even realizing it. So instead of a negative shield around the car, it kind of penetrates it with a bit of love, and the power of love will just spread through everyone, and then everyone's standing on top of their cars having a party before we know it.
In an ideal world.
Yeah,
it just takes one person to change that, doesn't it?
One smile.
I remember back, this was a long time ago, and we were coming back from holiday with my family, and we were stuck at one of the Belgian ports. You know, we saw our ships come and go. We were stuck in this massive traffic jam because there were these strikes that were blockading the ports and things. And we were stuck there, but right behind us was and everyone was really frustrated and annoyed and everything else. And then suddenly, I don't know how they got there, but this chip van turned up and started selling chips, and suddenly everyone was sort of, great chips. So we might, you know, with the boat's gone, so we're stuck. So let's just make the best of it. Chip van turned up, and then just behind us was a coach, and it was full of people that do these battle reenactments, you know. So they all got all their stuff on, and they were doing stuff for us. And we had this whole festival thing going on. It was the best part of the holiday. And so it's a case of, you know, just changing. It only takes one person. Like that chip van turning up was just the spark, and everyone then just said, well, we might as well just make the best of it.
The universe sent you what you needed right there, right then, to make it everyone better. Happy days. Right. Well, I want to say the biggest, hugest thank you to every single one of you for joining. Honestly, you inspire me from my inner soul, honestly, from right within. So thank you, all of you. And anyone that's watching this, I hope you got some value and that you had patience, different techniques to be able to deal with getting patient. I'm going to list everybody that's joined us down below with their website. So please come and check out everybody's site and join with us. And I want to leave you with a quote that I found, although I cannot say the name of the person, but I will leave it in the comments. I'll try and say the name. The name of the person is Eknath, E-K-N-A-T-H. I can't say the last word. E-A-K-N-A-T-H. Swaran, right? I can't say that. Eknath Iswaran, maybe. But this is my ending quote. Patience is the ornament of the brave. Patience is the real badge of courage. It is equally the mark of love.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
Very beautiful. Yeah, that's stunning.
So that's just a beautiful thing. So on that note, let me just put this piece of paper away. I want to say thank you. And everyone, thank you for watching us. Have a wonderful weekend because it's Friday.
Thank you so much. Really great to be with you all.
Natalie, thank you for joining with us all. And oh gosh, Sandra, even if it was 2 seconds, 10 minutes,
I know.
your presence was appreciated and felt. And obviously Kate and Lee and Aaron, I'm grateful, totally grateful. So
thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, all of you.
Everybody in YouTube, Facebook world, au revoir. And I'm going to end live stream.
Thanks, guys. Bye, Danielle.
Bye. Thank you.
I'm stopping live stream. Yay!